Home visit is an integral part of Riverside processes. The purpose being that it is an opportunity where the teacher goes to every child's home and understands him or her in his or her own setting. It also becomes a wonderful time to bond with the parents because it's a one-on-one time in their space and they have a feeling of ease in sharing whatever their questions, concerns, or any insights that they have about the child. Before the home visits, the teachers actually have to plan for it. Now that means that they understand what the child has as a strengths or challenges in the classroom. Now when you have these insights, the teacher records them into the form and fixes up a time with each and every parent. Before that, it's also important that as a team you do a demo where the teachers understand what should be your body language, what are the do's and don'ts, or how do you deal with questions that might be tricky for the teacher. You do not address any situation which is not about the child in general. Second, anything about the bus. मैम बस उस रूट पे लाने के लिए बोलो ना, ये स्टॉप पर नहीं रुकती है, ये यूनिफॉर्म का ऐसा है. I completely understand, but the best person to contact is Parul ma'am. I can note down for you what are your concerns and I will share it with her. But she will get back to you. Of course, inform the parents in advance about the date, day and time for the visit. Now during the home visits, there are a couple of things that you must be very mindful about is to be there on time. Again, when you are there having eye contact with the parents, showing genuine interest in knowing the parent. Yes, there is a form for you to get some pointers, but that should not become your goal. The parent and the child is your goal.
Then he comes back home and also studies. What's his schedule like? What does
after I come back at like 5 o'clock, then I study a little bit, then go to sleep at 9. When I wake up at 4 in the morning, I start studying.
As a parent, this is your second year at Riverside. So any concerns or anything that you have or you would like to share something or ask about something?
That's it, no concerns as such. As and when we have it, we clarify it with ma'ams in between.
The need is to be consciously make her get into an atmosphere where she can open up.
So again, it is different times of the day. Probably right after school might not be the best time, to ask, bombard the child. But there are some children who don't open up immediately. They need their own time and pace.
The home visit is usually for around half an hour to 45 minutes. That should give you a good time to spend. Usually there are two teachers. Now when there are two teachers in the home visit, one has an interaction with the parent whereas the other one tries to understand the child, goes with the child to the space where the child usually plays or has things that belong to the child. And this is how you get to really bond with the child. Now when the home visits are done, you come back with lot of information and insights about the child. What do you do with that? Very important, you have a reflection time with the team. As a team, you look at what insights you got. If there are any concerns that you have registered, it is important to address those. Also, if there are any promises you made that you want to get back to the parent, very important to do that immediately. Where you require the school leader or any other person to have an intervention, then this is also the time you factor it in and make sure it happens.
If I'll give you an example, that one of my students was very quiet and she just joined, howsoever you talk to her, but she'll not open up, very quiet, she will not spend time with her friends also in class. When we did home visit, we realized that she's gone through lots of emotional ups and downs at home, and father had lots of problems and he was not there with them. So we realized why she is the way she is. Now this helped us to deal with her with empathy. to understand that where she's coming from, what are the problems. So as a teacher, you're mindful how to deal with her in day-to-day life.
Home visits thus become a very essential part of parent partnership as well as student well-being.
From a parent perspective, what's the most important is the kind of interest and effort teachers put in. And I always observed that not one, I mean at least 2 or 3 teachers do turn up so that one can interact with parents, other can interact with kids, see what stuff the child is doing. So I think this is really interesting.
This is an investment that you're putting in as a teacher to understand the child and hence plan for the experiences, interventions or support for the child.